Hmm. Hey y'all. I am literally exhausted. I am still exhausted. Like days later, I'm tired as fuck. So, hold on a second. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Hey Shay baby. Hey King Black. I'm literally like, hold on y'all. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. Uh I am like, after this I'm gonna take a nap. Like for real, for real. When I say that I am so tired, I am so freaking tired. I am literally, nobody told me that first you wasn't going to sleep for 72 hours. And then after that 72 hours, you were just going to be exhausted for 72 hours. Even though you get some sleep, it just still feels like it's not enough sleep. That's how I feel. I feel like it's just not enough sleep. Um, because there's just a whole lot going on. So there's that. And so, anyhow, we didn't do an extended honeymoon because of for childcare reasons. So we ended up rescheduling our honeymoon to where my parents can like keep them. It's hard these days for people getting days off work, and so when you get married and you have kids, you gotta put your kids somewhere before you can go anywhere. So we decided to just change the date of it, and so we'll probably do that next year. Hey Jazz, thank you. We'll probably just do it next year. But honestly, after like freaking out mentally, I spent like, as y'all know, the first week, like the week before the wedding, just kind of freaking out every day. Because every day it was just something crazy going on to the point where I was just like, I don't know if this is going to happen. Like, and it wasn't even just like all the foundation and groundwork for it was laid, but I was just like mentally exhausted. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it here. And even like day of, I had a meltdown. I had a meltdown earlier in the day because I had everybody like meet up. We met up at my husband's grandmother's house, and I had all the girls like get dressed over there and stuff like that. And the kids were running around on 1,000. When I tell y'all on 1,000, okay, I had to like pin their hair up in a bun. I had spent the last few days like two strand twisting their hair. I had to put it up in a bun, and they were like, "Oh no, I want my hair down, or I want my hair like this, or I want my hair like that." And I was like, no, I said that the bridesmaids were all gonna have their hair in like a bun or an updo or something like that." So I had to fight with them about that, um, and having to make sure they didn't go rolling dirt, because they love to run around and play. So I had to make sure they didn't go roll around in dirt before the ceremony because they were dressed and sitting there, being antsy and whatnot. And so, anywho, I was overstimulated. I had to call my mom and I had to be like, "Mom, I need you to come get these kids." I said, because I could not get dressed. I am literally at my wits' end. And I was like in tears and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry my makeup off my face. So, my mom came and got the kids. And then my husband's aunts like helped like retouch up my makeup and do all of that because my original makeup had like the pearls that were like around my eyes. There was like two gemstones that were like under my eye. So my liner was gone. The two gemstones were gone. We had to like retouch up like the concealer and foundation and highlighters, highlight and all of that. And so I was just like, oh my gosh. And then when I get like stressed out, I start sweating. So then I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to sweat all my makeup off before we even get from point A to B. So it was just really, really crazy. And then, like 30 days before my wedding, I tried on my dress and my dress didn't zip all the way up. And so I freaked out about that. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to fit my dress because originally when I bought the dress, it was a size 16. And so 2 months after buying it, I had it exchanged for a size 14. because I was losing weight. And then I was like, okay, we're at a place of stabilization. I can't lose too much weight because then I won't be able to fit the dress. The dress will be too big. And so when I went to go try it on in the 30 days out from the wedding, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we can't zip this up. So now I'm like, I gotta take it somewhere to get it altered. I gotta take it to a seamstress. And then just so much stuff started going on that I never took it to a seamstress. So I was literally biting my nails, stressed out for like that day of try on and if it was going to fit, because if not, we had to find a way to like finagle the dress. So the morning of the wedding, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I got up and tried it on, and it zipped all the way up, and I was just like, "Thank God, thank God," because I was scared. I was really worried. Thank you so much, Stacy. I appreciate that. I'm just sitting here talking about the stuff that happened like prior to the wedding, and then we both ended up not having two people from our bridal our bridesmaids and groomsmen. So my maid of honor couldn't come because the stuff just went completely left for her, like at the end. So Ty couldn't make it. And then Pearl was gonna come. Life of Pearl was gonna come. So just pray for her because basically her dad had a stroke on Monday, so Pearl couldn't come. And then my sister, Day, okay, aka Emily, couldn't come because she had a surgery. They found out that she had an ulcer that burst in her stomach, but initially the doctors gave her like a misdiagnosis. And like all of this stuff started happening like the end of September. When I say like literally 30 days out from like September 26th to October 26th, this crazy stuff just started happening like back to back to back to back to back to where like me and him were like what the fuck is going on? And so we were like incredibly stressed out. Like we were so stressed out. And then so I was just like, okay, well, whoever's here is gonna be here because as long as me and him are there, that's all that matters. And so we just kind of put that in perspective. Like we won't have all of the people that we like really wanted to have there, but we understand why, and we understand that life was just really lifing at the time. Thank you, hippie soul. I appreciate that. So that was crazy. And then of course we had the debacle when we were trying to go get Natalie on Monday, and the car broke down and we lost our car. So we were just like, this is just getting crazier and crazier. Then my little brother came in from Orlando, and that ended up being a huge help because he got here on Wednesday, and that just helped a whole bunch because we were able to do the running around that we needed to do, and then we also were able to have him to like help with the kids and stuff. And then my other brother, one of my older brothers, surprised me. I thought he was not gonna come. Because I asked him, I was like, "So are you coming?" He was like, "No, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I'll just make it up to you." Da da da. I was like sad, so I was sad. So I was like, "Okay, it's okay. It's fine." Because everybody's just kind of telling me, everybody that like RSVP'd is kind of telling me stuff that happened and why they won't make it. So I was just like, at that point, I was just like, okay, it's whatever. And so when we were having the rehearsal dinner, my brother walked in and I like looked and then I like had to look again because I was just like, is that my brother? And so he ended up surprising me and I was very happy that he was there. I had both of my dads present. I didn't show y'all the videos and like photos with my biological dad. I had both of my dads there. Um, my dad came like Saturday morning. My biological dad, he came Saturday morning. My dad that raised me, he was there Friday. And so I was a little nervous about that because have any like designated um I didn't have any designated like thing for my biological dad, and so I stressed out over that decision and like making that decision that who I would have walking down the aisle and who I would do the father daughter dance with would be the dad that raised me. And so, but they were very sweet to each other. Like both of them got along very well. They were just so respectful to each other. They were just laughing and joking, and so it was just a really beautiful thing to see. Um, and seeing my biological dad kind of thank my dad that raised me He basically said to him that he could tell that he was the best father that he could be for me, and that he appreciated him taking care of me. And so they had that very beautiful moment, and so that was appreciative. I was appreciative of that. Hey, sunshine always. Oh yeah, I got a story. Like my parents divorced years ago, so this was the first time that I had my mom, my dad, and my dad's like new wife, which they've been married for 10 years. This year's their 10th year anniversary. Having them all in the same room. And so that was kind of another full circle moment that happened where my mom and my dad's new wife actually gave each other a hug, and were very respectful and sweet to each other. And I think that their healing and growth was just really beautiful. And just seeing how everybody just came together for me and like pulled through for me, I was like, I am going to spend this entire time crying, and then my makeup's going to be no good because everybody just had me crying like all and like after my dad had me cry during the father daughter dance, everyone else just continued to like make me cry after that. And so my after all the tears pictures, you can see it because my makeup is like completely melted from the eyes down, like it's gone. So there was that. There was that, and my feet. My shoes were so freaking cute. Like I gotta show y'all my shoes. My shoes were bomb. Like they were so dang cute. But the cuter the shoe, the less comfortable it is to wear it. And so by the end of the night, I had to have my husband take my shoes off my feet. I was like, get these things off. After I danced, I danced a little bit in them and stuff like that. And then I was just like, where is he at? Get these shoes off my feet. Because I had already took them off like during the ceremony, so I had them on when we got there. But then once I started like walking on the sand a little bit, I was like, oh no, this ain't gonna work. So my dad had to take my shoes off my feet, and so that I could just get through the ceremony. So I ended up walking through the ceremony barefoot. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, I had to end up doing a ceremony barefoot. And my husband was like, I knew you wasn't gonna wear them shoes down this beach. And he was like, he said he was like he chuckled when he seen I didn't have any shoes on. I was like, no, it was not possible. I said, because I was about to fall over, and as y'all could see how long my dress was, right? I could have easily tripped over my dress because the wind was blowing and I'm taking steps, and then my dress is like blowing under my heel, and I was just like, this is gonna be dangerous. Like I can't do this. Okay. So even when I was walking after I took my shoes off, because of course my shoes on, it's the dress was still kind of long at the end because people had wanted me to get it hemmed, but I didn't want to get it hemmed because I really liked the whimsical, ethereal kind of vibe that it was giving. So I really wanted that length on the bottom of the dress. And so but it was not it was difficult at times to walk in it. So like if you get a dress and your like front is low, be mindful. And then also if your back is low, because be mindful of two things: you will step on your dress and other people will step on your dress. So if you're walking and someone like is walking with you and they kind of step on your dress, like you can get tripped up a little bit from that. So that happened like a few times where like my husband stepped on my dress, my dad stepped on my dress, and I was just like, y'all just keep stepping on my dress. So that's why I had to like just kind of start holding it up because there's a thing that came with it, like a bustle or something like that. There's a bustle, and but I couldn't figure. We weren't even thinking about it at the time to use the bustle. So yeah, it was. Thank you, Pearl. Thank you, Grandma Love. Yeah. So it was. Yes, Pearl. It was beautiful. So like I said, people were like, "Oh, you should get it hemmed," and I was just like, "No, I really don't want to get it hemmed. I want it to be like long and flowy like that." And of course, with no shoes on, it's even longer. so so it's going out even further. Um, because I had like a 4 inch heel, I think, maybe I don't know. It was a four. It wasn't a. It was a 4 inch. So I had a 4 inch heel, so that was giving me a little length, lengthening the dress a little bit. But without the shoes, it just was like, okay, I'm a trip on this dress and fall on my face. Yeah. I'm gonna trip on this dress and fall on my face. Right before the ceremony, it looked like I was crying, but I wasn't actually crying right before the ceremony. I was really trying to protect my eyes because getting married on the beach is like beautiful, but with how windy it was, sand was blowing in my eyes. So sand had blew into me and my dad's eyes, and we were cracking jokes about it. And I was just like, I can't see nothing. Like I didn't. And so when I was walking down the aisle, I literally did not know who even was there because I couldn't see anything. So so for the most part, I'm like literally kind of squinting the whole time because one, I can't see anyway, and two, I really can't see because sand was blowing in my eye. So, but seeing the footage of it, it was beautiful because of course, like I said, seeing it from like your own POV perspective, and then not really seeing nothing at that, I really didn't know like what was going on. People were just like, move forward. Like my dad was just like, keep walking, keep walking, stop, because I really could not see. So he was like literally kind of leading me like I was blind. So there was that. Um, what else happened? And so yeah, I ended up having. I was really happy about how I ended up just kind of having like that sort of small intimate ceremony because that's what it ended up being. So I was very excited about that because I'm nervous. Like I have nerves, so I didn't really want like a lot of people. So for the most part, our ceremony really was just like our family and our like closest friends and um, some of my husband's work colleagues that he's been working with for like 20 years were there. So they were like his closest coworkers. So it ended up being very small, very intimate, and just very comfortable because of it. I really appreciated how the guests stayed on code with color coordination. I don't know if y'all seen noticed that, but they stayed on code. Everybody on the groom side was told to wear royal blue, and I think they did a magnificent job with that. And then everybody on my side was told to wear either orange, rust, a champagne color. Um, yeah, those three colors: orange, rust, like a burnt orange, rust, or a champagne color. And everybody did the damn thing. So everyone looked great. And so I really loved that and appreciated that because it looked amazing, just kind of moving on the beach. I love how my bridesmaids' dresses moved in the wind. I was talking to Pearl about that this morning. I was like, I love the way their dresses like caught that wind. Because when I first told them the dress, they were like, oh, I don't know. But I was like, I envisioned it doing exactly what it did, which was just kind of give this ethereal goddess sort of vibe, right? Like this just very evanescent, just flow sort of deal. It looked like the waves on the beach and everything just kind of came together, like the sand dunes, the sand, the way dresses were flowing in the wind, the way that the groomsmen's tuxes turned out, and it everything was just perfect. I could not have asked for a better visually appealing scene because it was great. Okay, I was wondering how come they was all in theme because we told them that. Like we told everybody these are the colors, and pretty much everybody was on point. Like everybody was absolutely point. That dang TikTok sound. Come to find out, everybody ate, ate, ate. Like everybody. Come to find out, everybody definitely ate. Like they ate it up. They ate it up. So, hey girls, where's the hubby? I want to hear you say my husband. He's at work. He literally just left. He didn't work his first job at the school, but he did go to the mentorship because we were still out partying last night. Like we partied again. We basically took like a date for me and him since we rescheduled our honeymoon. Um, which our honeymoon was a cruise to the Bahamas, so we had to reschedule it because of childcare. So we were like, we're gonna get married and we gonna go to work. So, but I don't go to work. I don't go to work till Wednesday. But he goes to work today, but he didn't go to his first job. He's at the second one now. Hey, Surfing Tangents. Thank you. Thank you, Shay Baby. I only tried on 6 dresses, and the first dress I felt was a little. The first dress that I really liked and wanted was kind of similar to the one I chose, but it was heavy, and I was just like, it would be perfect if it was like a heavy winter wedding because the dress was warm, like it was so heavy, it was warm, but you could feel like how heavy it was, even though it was absolutely beautiful. It had like the laced bodice, it had like the netting, it had that full, flowy flowy bottom, um, that I really liked, but I didn't end up getting it because it was just too heavy. I was just like, this is not going to work. I'm going to get irritated and annoyed by how much fabric I'm carrying. So I didn't get that one. Um, I tried on another 2 dresses. So I tried on this mermaid dress, which is in one of the videos, which was nice. It was very simple. It had like a little jewel adornment, up at the top, but that was like most of it. So I was just like, it's cute, but it's too simple. Like it was just too simple, and it was kind of constricting. It had the corset lace up back, and I just felt like it was kind of constricting too. Like I can't really move, in this once it's time to like dance and stuff. Like I can't really move around in it. But it was gorgeous. It was my uh, third pick. Okay, because the one I just told y'all about was my second. I tried on another 2 dresses, but I didn't like those because I didn't feel like they kind of gave me any kind of figure or definition. They were just kind of straight A line. They did have like the flowy bottom, but it just seemed like it just kind of drooped. And one of them was like this sleeveless. Uh, the upper body had lace on it, but it like went all around your neck, and I was just like, I don't really like that either. I didn't like. I just felt like those two kind of didn't do anything for me. So the one that I picked was actually the dress that I was actually the third dress that I tried on. That was the one that I picked. Yeah. And so the hair was crazy because I literally had a meltdown. So once everything happened with the car and whatnot, I had to basically cancel having a beautician and going to get in my hairstyle. So my hair was actually supposed to be something completely different. So basically, I was going to get a blowout, and then I was going to have a sew in, and then she was going to mold like the updo flowing curls from like there. But she had the bundles and all of that different stuff. So I was like, there's not enough time to like order hair and need to get here. And I'm very finicky about the human hair that I choose because it has to match my hair texture when my hair is blown out. And that is hard. Like that's really hard to do. I've had times where I've ordered two from 2 different hair vendors and it not match. And then I order from a third and the third match. So that was going to be complicated. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to do something simple that I can do. And so I just rod setted some Cuban twist hair and I just did a crochet because I was like, that's all I can do with this time that's allotted to me and with the supplies that I have on hand. Like that's all I can do. I did go to an MUA though. That I absolutely did because I said it before. I can do whatever to my hair, something make something happen, but I do not know how to do makeup at all to that extent as far as like contouring, foundation, whatever products are needed to keep the makeup to stick and stuff like that and all in that technique. I don't know how to do it. And I dang sure didn't have enough time to learn. And I wasn't gonna experiment on my wedding day. So I did go to it anyway. Um can I play the clips? Well, I don't know how to do it from here. I'd have to do it from my computer. Let me see. Because my son has my computer. Mm. But all the videos are up. I still have more videos and I still have more pictures because 2 of them that I posted are the ones that are like professionally from the photographer. But I don't have everything from the photographer and videographer that we hired. So I don't have all that stuff yet. But when I do, I'll post it. Yeah, I will post it. What's that sound on TikTok? My husband. Did you ask my husband? Let me see what my husband say. I gotta go find out what my husband want to do. He actually posted the wedding stuff before I did. Um, he actually posted the wedding stuff before I did. I was like, he is just he is. You know, they have the same blushing bride. I was like, I don't know what word or saying they have for like grooms, but he is a like gushing groom. I'm gonna make that a new term. A blushing bride and a gushing groom. Like he is just the proudest husband you ever did saw. He's so happy and excited. He like sent me we had to, he was like, how do you do the thing on Facebook when you say who you're married to? And he's so I had to go do it for him. And he had already changed his profile picture to our wedding photo. Like he was ready, y'all. He was so ready. He was ready. He was excited. Okay. No, there's not going to be any tribe six because I have five kids and I'm only have five biological kids. So there's not going to be a tribe six. Okay. It'll just have to be Jassy Q tribe five. Like, but there won't be no tribe six child because you sounded like him a little because he say stuff like that. And when we have my son, I said, we gonna have what? I be confused. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out y'all where my husband gonna get this baby from, because he keep trying to tell me he gonna get it from me. With who? With whose tubes? I had a tubal ligation when I was 27. He knows I had a tubal ligation, but somehow he is still convinced that there's gonna be a baby that come from somewhere. I said, from your grandkids. Get you some grandkids and sit down somewhere. Yes, you sit your tail down. I'm not for that. Not for all that there. Okay, I'm old now. I literally just turned 35 this year. I'm too old. I'm too old now. I can't. I ain't got it in me. Miss Kia, thank you so much. I don't have it in me no more. And I literally have crossed the threshold. My youngest child is about to be 7 this year. And I feel like, it's been a good run, but all good things must come to an end. All good things must come to an end. I had a time. I had a time for the time I had it. So that was that. But in total, the kid count is at 9 because he has 4 kids. He has 4 daughters. Um, yes, yeah, he has 4 daughters, but 3 of them are adults. Only one is a child. Oh, thank you, Miss Kia. I appreciate that. They need to stay away from my eggs, Joy Queen. I listen. Unhand me. I'm not willing to go down that road. I'm not willing to go down that road. And it's nice to be able to just kind of move around now and to just breathe easy now, right? I got a little bit more mobility, got a little bit more freedom. Okay, kids ain't in diapers and stuff like that. So it's just I want to enjoy this phase of life that I'm in, and I think that you don't always have to have a kid in a marriage. I don't know, but if what people think that a baby like seals a deal in a marriage, but I don't think that. I don't think you need to have a child together to really be close, in my opinion. Y'all need a reality show. Yes, we do. We do. We most certainly do. Well, they were mad. My boys are so funny because they were just like, "So you really ain't bring no brothers to the party? Like you ain't really bring no brothers to this thing?" And we was like, "He's like, no." He's like, "No, I'm sorry to inconvenience you in this way." And they were just like, "So four more sisters? Like we got 4 more sisters? Like goodness gracious!" So the boys were having a time with that. I was like, and then there were two. And there were always two. But my sons absolutely adore my husband. Like they have a great time together. My husband never misses nothing that goes on with Manny, especially because Manny's here all the time. He don't miss nothing that Manny do. He takes Manny to every single one of his football games. He takes Manny to every single one of his robotics club meet, anything that's going on at the school. Manny has a homecoming this Friday. And I was just like, Manny told him about the homecoming, ain't even tell me about the homecoming. I was just like, why? I told Manny, I said, why I had to find out about your homecoming from him. You didn't even tell me nothing about it. You sat up there planning the homecoming and doing all that. He's like, cause he gonna take me to get this stuff and get the suit and do this and that. And I was just like, boy, traitors. Everybody just be running around acting like I was like, what am I, a chopped liver? Cause don't nobody even go to me no more. When I tell y'all they beeline like directly to my husband, they go straight to him. I'll be like, okay, y'all know I birthed y'all, right? Like y'all know I was here first, right? Just so y'all know that. Like so, they were harassing him for most of the wedding and the wedding reception. You know, they were harassing the heck out of him. And they kept trying to drink. The boys kept trying to sneak a sip, y'all. We was like, get away from the bar. Every time we looked, get away from that dang bar. Trying to drink. We was like, y'all some dang drunks. That's what y'all are. So he's like, Ma, he's like, I got to taste the groom and the bride's cocktail. I said, who gave you a drink of a sip of the groom and the bride's cocktail? He gonna tell me my uncle. I said, let me go get on my brother's ass. Let me go get on my brother's ass. So, and we had two, actually, we had three cocktails. We had three um, specific cocktails, and then we had, of course, like a full bar too. And everything was delicious. Everything was delicious. The catering came out well. There really wasn't no food left, like after, because people was tearing it up. So we was like, okay, that'll work. The kids started eating the cupcakes from the cake display before we cut the cake. So if you look at, I don't know if I posted the cupcake cup, uh, the cake cutting video. When I post the cake cutting video, maybe if y'all like, why is there cupcakes missing? My kids was literally eating dang cupcakes. We was like, y'all ain't supposed to eat the cake until we cut the cake. So that was that. We had like chocolate and vanilla cupcakes, and then our actual wedding cake. We had like a 8-inch sheet cake for our wedding cake, and that cake was red velvet. It was red velvet with a but buttercream cream cheese sort of vanilla spread thing. The food. Well, I didn't cook food for my wedding. I had it catered. It actually came from a catering company called um, Low Country Low Country Cuisine Catering. The chef is named Chef Frisco, and he's really amazing. He has a restaurant here, but it's like in Ridgeville, South Carolina, and he does a lot of catered events. He used to have a food truck, but the food is extremely good. Like it's really, really good. So the rice was fluffy. Like I had a red beans and rice. I had collard greens. I had macaroni and cheese. I had jerk chicken. I had fried chicken. I had coconut rice. Hold on. Thank you, Playmaker. Thank you, Renee. So that was good. Honestly and truthfully, I really still haven't eaten any of the cake. I only had like the bite of cake that um I ate from the cake cutting ceremony. Did you eat any of the cake? That's why I brought it up here. So you didn't have more cake than the bites that we had at the wedding, right? That's all I had too. I don't even have a cupcake. Like I had nothing. They devoured the cupcakes. No, the kids still eating. Maybe I had five. What? You put the cupcakes downstairs? Yeah. Oh. Just give me a chocolate one and a vanilla one, just so I can say that I had them. Just, just so I have them. Yeah, I've heard about people freezing a piece of cake for their first year wedding anniversary. Yeah, they would eat it. That's the thing. The kids would eat it. You'd have to freeze it and put it in someone else's house, or like totally out the house, because they would eat it. So there's that. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Honestly. I was talking about that. I was talking about how they kept asking us for the boys kept asking us for drinks. Oh well, you managed to save the entire cake though. Is this a sugar flower? I don't think so. It's not. It's just a decorative flower that's like super sturdy. I wonder if somebody took a video though of the cake. Who took a video of the cake? By yeah. Okay. And I'm like, do I need to take a picture of it before I cut into it further? But here, this cake heavy though. Like, why is this cake so heavy? Like, this is ridiculous. I know, a million. Yeah. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Um, What else happened? Yeah, so I called him like several times that day, melting down. Having That's saying it lightly. I literally called him. We were in the two completely different locations for the whole wedding day until we. But what was funny though is that me and him are so in sync that when I pulled up to the wedding ceremony, and like we pull into park, right? I was like, oh, park right there, not paying attention to anything. And I'm just like, park right there. So my brother like pulls into the parking. And I look over, and who do I see? I see my husband sitting in the car, and I'm like, pull out, pull out, pull out, move, back up, back up, back up. They see him too. Like my siblings, were like he's right there. They were like, how in the world of all the parking spots to pick, you say park right there, and he's literally sitting there in a completely different car, and we both like looked at each other. And we both were like, oh shit. They're like, oh shit. And so that was something else. Oh, so another thing that went crazy with our wedding too. So I had sent the DJ a list, okay, for the wedding ceremony on the beach of like the flash drive. So he was putting together a flash drive for the music that is going to play at the ceremony, right? And I had everything set up of the groomsmen walk to this, the groom, the officiant, the grandparents, the parents, etc., etc. They walk to this song, and then the bridesmaids and stuff walk to this song, and then I walk to this song that my brother is going to sing, right? So the first song was Multi Looking for Love. The second song was Mariah Carey, When I Saw You. And the third song was First Time by Teeks. And that was the song my brother was going to sing. And I put it just like that in the order, identified and labeled the songs and everything. The the uh, the DJ, when he gives us the flash drive to play at the wedding, the songs are completely out of order. And it was difficult to try to discern what to do because it was just so weird, and we were just like, so I had a whole meltdown at the ceremony in the car about that. And my mom had to walk up to the car. She said, is anybody going to know that the music is wrong? And I was just like, no. Like, I just looked at her. She was like, okay then, get your ass out this car, and we just gonna make something work. But you got to go head on and come out here and get married, thank you. So basically my mom had got me right together, and my nephew was like, okay, let me hear the songs real quick, and which one should play first, which one should do this, which one should do that. So basically, my brother unfortunately did not get a chance to sing because we could not map out like the instrumental and all of that. But we were able to play, have a little something, something playing. But even though they weren't in the right order. Well, thank you, Miss Young Sniper. Um, so that was it. I said, listen, never ever think that you're gonna be like being a perfectionist. Trying to have a wedding is the most stressful thing you will ever do in your life. At some point, like once I just let go of like everything and was like, dang it, stuff just stuff just ain't gonna go right, but that's okay because we can't lose sight. We can't lose sight of what we came here to do. And so once I was just like, what is that? That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, hold on, I need to reach this thing about your house.
I was about to reach down for that.
For what? The reason?
I got another tea in the car.
What happened to all the keys that the caterer dropped off? Really? People took them? You got one?
Mitzi took two, but the cupcakes,
Yeah.
they all chocolate.
What?
The kids ate all of them.
I'm not even a huge fan of chocolate. I don't want that.
Cake.
Yeah, I don't want that. What was I saying? Yeah, I wish I could tell y'all what happened at the wedding breakdown and all that, because obviously I don't know. By the time we got through, yeah, but I need a plate real quick. By the time we got to,
Which, how big?
um, yeah, what was I saying? Once we got halfway into the reception, I don't know what really happened because I was inebriated.
Yes, you were.
I was inebriated. Then we went to a bar, so it just got worse from there. Like, and we literally went to a bar in my wedding dress and his tux too. Like, we didn't bother to change or nothing. Like, we were just like, you want to go to a bar? Because basically, a lot of our guests were like older, so we shut it down early. Like, we had the venue till like midnight, and we were out of there by like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were out of there by 10. Um, and so we were still up and we were still lit. So we were like, all right, let's go to a bar. So we went to a bar and we danced and had a good time. And then people at the bar were buying us drinks. Um, and that a bartender from our favorite bar was the bartender for our wedding, and so she was there when we came walking through the door, and she was just like. She said, "Y'all didn't even bother to like change our clothes or nothing. Like y'all literally just walked in here with a wedding dress on and with a full tux on." And so we had a good time. We had a real good time. And so we was there until probably about 1 a.m. or so. And I was just dancing with the people at the bar, and he was dancing with the people at the bar, and we just had a party. We basically had an after party. So that was fun too. Because honestly, truthfully, I would have been at these bars on King Street, walking down the street in a full wedding dress, having a time.
Most of them do it too.
That's what I would definitely done it. This cake actually is really good. Maybe they big one.
Um,
I said they did a big one. This cake is actually really, really good. And we had our cakes and stuff done by Publix, y'all. So
you know,
I'll eat the rest of it later. Thank you, the real MVP. I appreciate that. What else? What else did we have kind of go crazy at the wedding?
your brother.
Oh, well, we no, I'm not talking about that.
Oh,
Um, talking about mm-mm. um, I think that was like most of the shenanigans.
the hotel. You not getting out the car.
Oh yeah, we were gonna go to a hotel for our wedding night, but we didn't do that because of the bar. We didn't do that, which was fine because I wasn't gonna do nothing but sleep anyway because I was passed out by that time. So I wasn't gonna do nothing but sleep. I was knocked out. I woke up like, what? What's going on here? And so there was that. You just once the exhaustion just hits you and you're just like you're tired. Because I had been up from like since 4 o'clock that morning. I had been up since 4 o'clock Saturday. Um, and then every day before that, I'm always up at like no later than 5. The beach wedding, amazing. I'm really glad that y'all enjoyed it though. Like it got a very positive response. There was not a lot of negativity on YouTube, which is surprising because y'all know how YouTube like to do me from time to time. But it wasn't a lot of negativity on YouTube, so it was only one person said something really wild. But outside of that, I was like, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. I was crying when I was uploading the videos. Yeah, but down the line, not right now. Later, once we have like full secure childcare, is when we'll do our honeymoon, like our official honeymoon. Um, oh, he was riding down the road. So basically, when we went and got the marriage license, right? When I tell y'all we was literally like cutting it super close, we were cutting it super close because they had like a 48-hour turnaround time. And so they were like, it'll take 2 days. Basically, you file for the marriage license and they just email it to you, and you got to go get it printed out and stuff. He was driving down the road. Where were you head to the like halfway to the venue and realized, oh shit, I don't have the papers for the marriage license and stuff for the officiant. So he had to like run. Where'd you stop at Staples or Kinko's?
People.
He stopped at Staples to print out the marriage license and all that we had to sign. So that was also another thing that was kind of crazy. Very surprising. I only came back to the sector to check on you. I hate to hear. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, nobody cut up. So sis, ain't nobody lose their minds. Too bad. Because I probably just would have made a post and kept it moving anyway. Like, you don't sit your tail down. You might have time to be sitting somewhere arguing with you about nothing. You might have time to be sitting up here arguing with folks. Um, and then of course I thought my sons looked very handsome in their suits, and my girls looked extremely beautiful in their dresses. All of their dresses came out perfectly. Aubrey couldn't nobody tell Aubrey she wasn't that deal. Like Aubrey thought it was her wedding, really.
Red carpet.
I was like, is this our wedding or is this Aubrey? You could tell Aubrey that people wasn't there partying for her because that's what she thought. she, she was like, it's my time to shine, and that's what I'm gonna do. And she probably spent all day telling the people at the school about her being in the wedding. because she was telling them before.
Yeah,
She was inviting people to the wedding. We were like, what? We were like, who you invited? I was inviting people to the wedding.
what?
Mhm. So anyway, not gonna lie, I bragged about you to some of these people. As usual, you came out on top. The thing that's interesting about that, and I made a post about that where people are like, oh, you've changed or use this or use that. I really haven't. I've been the exact same person. I'm the same OG all the time. I think the only thing that has changed is I don't have people who are actively trying to misrepresent me or distort me currently. So that's really about it. I always say I'm not responsible for what you think. I'm only responsible for what I am. Right? That I don't take on that type of burden, and I don't take on the burden of trying to make people comfortable with me or accept me or trying to like kind of toe that line anymore. It's like I don't give a shit. Um, and because I think that just after like so much kind of like fighting and like struggle and strife and stuff like that, it reaches a certain point where you just don't care no more. Like nothing. It reaches a point where I had to realize that sometimes, no matter what you do, and no matter how you are, no matter how you live, some people literally just don't like you and don't fuck with you because just because they don't like you, they don't fuck with you. And it doesn't have anything to do with you. And so when I stopped personalizing things, that's when, you know, things got a lot better. I just started living. Like, okay, yeah, what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, no, I don't think I'm a more mature being either. I'm like, honestly and truthfully, it's just, I literally just removed myself from a space that just was not working. Okay. Just was just removing myself from a space that just was not working, was not conducive to me, um, was not beneficial to me or bettering me in any shape, form, or fashion. So I guess that could be considered mature. Um, but like I said, it just comes down to perspective and just kind of understanding. You know, some of this stuff that happens on YouTube, it don't have nothing to do with you. It really, on a personal level, it doesn't. It's just everybody kind of doing what they do that they feel is beneficial for them. And I'm like, you know, do what you do that's beneficial to you, just not at the expense of me and my family. That was just kind of it, really. Yeah, it's a hamster wheel. That's for sure. It is. Sometimes sometimes we don't realize how much of a hindrance that YouTube can be to your life. Like even when I was talking about like relationship history and stuff like that, I can't think of not a one relationship that I had on YouTube that was vlogged or like, you know, broadcasted to YouTube that someone from YouTube didn't meddle in and interfere in. Um, YouTube would have their hands, their actual hands, in my relationships and in the situations and things that would happen in my life. A lot of things that people seen would have been very different if there was no interference. Like if there was no interference, if I could come and do my commentary and talk my shit and then log out like everybody else, a lot of stuff would have been different. It'd have been way different. But when I was dealing with something that was beyond just a roast and a gag. I was dealing with people actually trying to hinder, tear down, throw obstacles, or throw difficulties in my actual life. So my walk as far as YouTube is a little different. It's a little different than a lot of people because a lot of people have not experienced that. They haven't experienced people literally emailing your mama, people literally emailing your daddy, people literally going to find somebody that you're dating scrolling through your comment sections trying to see if they commented so that they can go stalk that person, so that they can go harass that person. And the only reason why they're stalking, harassing, or contacting them is because the person is in a relationship or in close proximity to me. And so after a while, you're just like, this is like insane. And, you know, is it worth it? And at the end of the day, it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it. You don't want to live your life having to fight every day for your life. That is disgusting. Congratulations. Consider it from our perspective. We're the outsiders looking at you from your perspective. You might not see it. Uh, but that's the thing. It's like when you say consider it from from your perspective, what you would have to ask yourself, MVP, is it your perspective, or is it a perspective that you got directly from me, or is it a perspective you got from other people who were exhibiting me to you? That's the part that people like when we're talking about like old school fairies that have been here since the beginning, like since Nature Boy and all that. A lot of their perspective is way different because they were here for what I actually did and how things actually went and what actually happened, as opposed to somebody saying, "Oh, she did this," and we're like, "That is not even what I did." So that's the thing. When you look at it, you're talking about like a whole sector, on me. The whole sector revolving around like doing content on me. You're talking about Tommy Sotomayor and the things that he had to say about me. Like, are we talking? So, facts, Auntie Vicky. So we're like, is it a perspective you actually got from me, or is it a perspective you got from somebody else? And that's the thing that I think that a lot of people, a lot of viewers are not honest about. Like a lot of viewers don't know me. You don't know me, right? You don't know me. You don't know Jassy as a person, or even Jassy as a content creator. Because a lot of times people didn't even watch me. They would watch somebody else playing my content and giving commentary on me. That's not the same thing. That is two different things. So that's something else. But we say that, Auntie Vicky, Pearl, like, no, I haven't changed. I've been doing the same outings with my kids, been doing the same activities with my kids, been at the same, school stuff, been having the same relationship styles. Like, really, nothing has changed. No, I just stopped participating. That's it. That's what the change was. I just stopped participating. So, because you just know you're not gonna be heard. You just have to be like, all right, y'all got it. Y'all can have it. So, and then even things that like I didn't care about, people would say I cared about. It's like I don't even care about that. That's not what this is about. Or this issue is about this and that. No, it ain't. It ain't about it ain't about none of that. So, like I said, I don't think a lot of people actually got my perspective really on a lot of stuff. Um, and then also understanding, like Soul Sis made a good comment where she said, when her child reached a toddler, and she was like, I I owe Jassy an apology. And it's like, yeah, sometimes things don't make sense until it's you and you're like actually in that situation and you're actually having to deal with it yourself, and you're just like, wow, this is something else. Like, especially if you have like different family dynamics and stuff like that. We have to understand that like we're not all living the same life. And I think it's easy for people to be like, well, I wouldn't do that or I wouldn't do this. You don't know what you would do. Until you were in that situation, if you've never been in that situation, you don't know what you would do. You have a theories, you know, like Donald Trump says, I have concepts of a plan. Like you have concepts of a plan. Like you have a theory, but you don't have the actual experience, hands on experience to know what you would really do. What you would really do. Yeah. Yeah. I now that I agree with, real MVP. That I agree with. You gotta you just gotta walk away, you gotta walk away from like disorder shit. That's really it. I think a lot of people will thrive when they do that. that this space, and it's not YouTube in its entirety, because you could have a completely different experience in a completely different sector, in a completely different area of YouTube. But being in this particular space, this is not the space that is going to cultivate the best for you. It's not. It's not going to cultivate the best for you. It's not going to give you what you need for, your mental health, or for your family, or for like your finances, or whatever it is that you're trying to do with your life. This space is not going to be the most supportive space for you, especially if you're just an out of the box person too, and you're just a little different. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work here. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Them people dogpiled. Call it what it is. It was hot content, and we went with it. This woman been the same from jump. Exactly. Like certain things are like, I was a prop in people's story. Like that's not my story. It's a story that sounds good. It sounds scandalous and interesting and intriguing, um, to the outside eye, but it don't make it mine. That don't make it my story. I'm just the face on the screen. That's it. Like I'm the face on the screen. That's it. Thank you, Kristen. Yeah. Yeah. So that's about it. Um, I'm gonna take a super long nap. You know what I want? No, I want some fried fish. Are you a fried fish?
I'm a dark person.
I
I need it.
want some fried fish.
No,
Exactly. That's why I don't know where.
I know business sell it.
What the fish, and we got to fry it.
No.
And we sell fish plates. Is it good?
Yeah. My daddy just orders sometimes.
Oh, okay. What kind of fish is it?
I think it's white.
Um, I don't know. Ow. Ooh. Had a whole day. Uh, that stretch. That stretch was needed.
Uh,
I said that stretch was needed. We need to go get a couples massage, like a deep tissue massage.
probably do.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But a bit right now.
Hmm. Put it on the books.
But if we had,
Put it on the
but if we
books.
went on the cruise, that would be.
Yeah, we'd be doing that right now. But anywho, so I'm getting ready to go. It's already been an hour, so peace, y'all. I'm out.